Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Swan TV. I'm James Groves, Managing Director of Indigo Swan, energy consultancy based in Norwich. Today, we are joined by Charlie and Jonny Manning of Beachstreet in Felixstowe. Guys, hello, welcome.
Hi,
good afternoon. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm great. Do you want to start, each of you, I suppose, and tell us a little bit about Beachstreet Felixstowe and what you both do there?
Yep. Like you said, me and Jonny are brothers. Our families had business on the site here for 75 years now. So it's got quite a well-established site and business. But for the last couple of years, we've kind of been looking at how the different areas of the business have been performing and how the land's used, and to really kind of maximize the value and the potential sort of business out of each area. And so that kind of led us down the sort of the thought route towards Beachstreet, seeing popularity of Pop Brixton and Boxpark, and that obviously Felixstowe being a container port, it kind of the two ideas and the whole concept seemed to merge really well into it, and it's really sort of led well towards the sort of shop local and shop independent. Absolutely. So kind of it's tied so many really useful and sort of important factors together that it's just come up trumps really.
I think also a lot of the heyday of the traditional amusement rides that we had on site, it was a long time ago, and in that period since then, you know, people's tastes have changed and how they would like to spend their free time has all changed. So it needed a completely fresh look at, you know, what we were doing here, and that's how it ended up being something totally different to what we've had before.
Absolutely. Where did I suppose you touched upon it briefly, but where did the idea come from initially? Where was it born, so to speak?
Well, we'd kind of talked about putting more commercial units on site and letting them out has always been very sort of simple. We've always had a demand with the Sunday market. We've got a sort of waiting list for the shop units. The kiosks have been occupied since we've ever had them. So it was kind of like quite a simple sort of process thing. Well, yep, business lets and sort of commercial lets are relevant and people want them. There's a big demand for them. So let's go down that route. And then kind of looking more into the costs of building a purpose-built unit for that, or the cost of the containers and the sort of the quirkiness of containers. We went with the container idea. It's got much more of a USP and appeal to it.
It's more of a destination for visitors to Felixstowe. You know, it's a more fun site. It's landscaped. You know, it gives it a real attraction because of the containers. You know, like Charlie says, a USP to it.
To be that little bit different, isn't it? To be that little bit different.
Yeah.
COVID obviously delayed you from launching and I suppose opening maybe as planned. Were there any positives that came out from that sort of setback that you had at all? Did you learn any lessons? Is there anything that you've been able to enhance in that time?
If anything, it probably took the pressure off a little bit because it did draw out the amount of time we had to get set up. And being it was a new project for us, and it's a new. It's a learning process for everyone, and then it was new for the people that we're working with as well. So it did take a while to get going. It did take the pressure off a little bit, being able to get landscaping done, those, you know, the finishing bits and pieces, which are still finishing off now. So it also gave the tenants a chance to get open without it being peak season the day that they open their doors, and you know, they can work out their own processes and operations, which they've been doing, and it's going really well for them now. You know, they've got their systems in place.
Amazing.
Yeah, like Jonny was saying, I think building projects always you have a schedule and a time scale in place. Invariably, they always overrun massively, and obviously COVID did have a sort of huge impact on supply chain. That was the major sort of impact, but it did it gave us breathing space to kind of make sure all sort of options were considered and that everything was done kind of to the most suitable kind of requirement. And again, so the tenants could have a soft opening and get prepared for what should this year be a bit of a bumper season.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about your tenants? Can you tell us a little bit about what different types of businesses you have within the shipping containers? What can people expect if they come to Beachstreet?
Jonny can start.
Okay, yeah. So pretty much falls into two categories of retail and food outlets or drinks outlets. So in the retail stuff tends to be, I mean, they're all small startups or small businesses, sort of artisan craft products. There's artists, there's clothing, there's homewares, So that covers most of them. There's 7 different tenants at the moment doing retail, but we are looking to expand that next year as well. And then on the food side, it tends to be of a street food kind of style with takeaway units and communal seating areas. Some units are bigger than others though, so they have some indoor seating, but we have communal spaces, which is nice. It means you can go with a group of friends, all eat from different outlets and sit together, mill around, have a wander, you know, look in the shop. So it's kind of that kind of sociable environment for people.
And Charlie, Jonny was saying to me before you joined that the food side of things has still been fairly busy. People are getting out and paying a visit and seeing what's on offer.
Yeah, I think that's kind of everyone's bit of luxury at the moment, going for a walk and having a takeaway coffee or having takeaway pizza. And like Jonny was saying, the kind of the concept is more street food based. So having the external al fresco seating, which we don't have on site now because of COVID regulations. But people can pop down. One person can have some pizza. One person can have a waffle. We've got a great vegan takeaway. The coffee shop does sort of a whole range of amazing cakes and sort of treats. The next food unit to open is an American fusion style. So it'd be like types of burgers, mac and cheese, chicken, ribs, that type of stuff. Smoked fish restaurant on the balcony. So that'd be like a fantastic kind of sit down dining cafe, panoramic sea views from the first floor. So that'd be really cool. And then moving forwards, we've got more interesting inquiries for phase 2 with sort of Vietnamese and Asian food, a few licensed premises like cocktail bar, a seltzer outlet, sort of soft and hard seltzers,
craft beer unit as well,
ales and craft beers. So
you've got to get the booze out there, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. At the moment, we're just really looking forward to getting the existing units open for this season, and then really sort of developing it and expanding on everything for next year.
Amazing, and there must be a great sense of community.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Exactly. That's kind of the biggest USP of the site. All the tenants we've kind of handpicked from. We had like over 200 applicants from the start, and we've got 14 units in phase 1, and probably another sort of 18 to 20 in phase 2. So we've been very, very lucky to be able to pick the sort of the best quality of the ones and who are complementary to each other rather than being in-house kind of competition. And everyone gets on really well. We've got a WhatsApp group we all chat on and sort of discuss things coming up and opening hours and like business ideas and events, etc. It's just like everyone's around a nice communal area, and it's just like a big courtyard, and everyone gets on really well at the moment. So touch wood, that's how it's going to continue.
I think with a lot of them being startups as well, it can be quite a daunting process for new businesses and people that maybe have been working for other businesses and decided to do something by themselves. And so then they have each other, you know, a lot of them in the same situation, and there's quite a lot of turn, you know, back and forth between them, whether it's asking about, you know, rates or equipment or, you know, grants at the moment.
Almost like a startup hub.
It is, absolutely, yeah. They all kind of use each other's, you know, strengths. It's working really well.
Love it. And is there anything exciting that you wanted to say about anything that's coming up in the future or anything like that? Obviously, depending on what they allow us to do over the course of the next few months.
Yeah, well, we have some events booked in this year already. Which should be really great for footfall and awareness. We've got some live music, like an Ibiza brunch afternoon. There's a couple of artisan markets coming along, which we're being quite careful to make sure that the stalls they bring along are different to the units we have already. So it's the variety and the quality rather than doubling up on existing kind of traders. And we've also got a car show, a classic car meet. So we're covering a lot of bases and a lot of different types of people. And we've seen, even being open during lockdown, with the passing trade and the people wandering around, it's kind of every type of demographic of customer you can imagine. So it has that really wide appeal, and hopefully we can do events to cater to them as well.
Brilliant. What would you guys be doing if you weren't doing this?
Well, we work in the amusements as our sort of our normal job, but at the moment is we're kind of doing a bit of maintenance and moving things around and updating some equipment. But if it wasn't for this, I kind of think we'd had a lot more time off and probably be sort of pulling our hair out.
Johnny
Yeah, I
be
don't know.
homeschooling. Johnny was telling me about homeschooling earlier. That's what he'd be doing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. My
yeah.
boy's only 2.5, so I'm pre that at the moment. So I'll be down the park still with him on the swings, I think.
I'll be doing anything to avoid homeschooling.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's lovely. Thank you ever so much. Well, we'll move on now to another part of the show where we've asked you each to bring an item that has been had shown some significance to you during the last year, so lockdown. Johnny, we'll start with you. Did you want to show us?
Sure. I hope you don't mind. Very quickly, I've got two things. So one of them is quite a nice little lead on. This is a homeschooling phonics book, which reminds me that you should always stick with what you're good at, and also give me a newfound respect for teachers. The other thing is my favourite bottle opener, which I've spent quite a lot of time with for the last 12 months. It's particularly ergonomic and has double hinges for quick opening of bottles. A reminder that I should probably put it away and start doing some exercise though.
Yeah, we're all going to come out of this in terrible shape, aren't we?
Yeah, I am.
Johnny, great stuff. Charlie, yourself?
Well, we moved house in November, and it's a massive doer-upper.
Charlie.
So far we've put some cupboards under the stairs.
Yeah.
We have picked out the ensuite furniture and fittings, and we've actually reconfigured the upstairs layout for the bedrooms to kind of create a bit more space in the nursery and just kind of make it a bit more personal and suitable for how we want to use the house.
You enjoy that sort of stuff, Charlie?
No, well, Johnny's the one for that. He does all his own building work and stuff. So he's like, I can organise it and I can tell people what I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about as far as my sort of skill level goes with tools. I think I'd cause more damage than it's cost twice the amount to have it repaired back to being usable. So yeah, I won't be doing too much.
No. Well, congrats on the new place. I did that once myself. Got a place, did it up. I said to never again. But enjoy. Yeah. Well, guys, listen, it's been wonderful. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. To everyone listening, check out Beachstreet and Felixstowe as and when you can, and as and when the world opens up a bit more. The food stuff, like you guys have said, is there. It's open, and people can go and start having a look at that. And as we approach the up and coming months, get yourselves down to Beachstreet and Felixstowe. But Charlie, Johnny, thank you ever so much for joining me.
Thanks, James.
Thank you. Cheers.